When the cancer comes, the experts will gather. They will say things like, I'm afraid there's bad news. This is not a death sentence. People live long and normal lives. We are doing everything we can, but there is not an exact science to this. You will hear bad news. This is a death sentence. You will think to yourself, we are everything, but not this. Cancer is when the abnormal cells grow and spread very quickly. Sometimes these cells group together, forming tumors, causing damage to the healthy body. Often, these cells break apart, causing damage to other parts of the healthy body, and this is the best definition of gentrification that I have. I live in Oakland, where they are tearing down old black bodies quicker than they can build up new high-rises. Death by crooked cop or crooked crane is all the same. Gentrification is killing us. When the new Oakland residents call the cops on the drum circle filled with people of color, they're trying to stop the black heartbeat. When they call the cops on the black church, which had been there for 65 years for being too loud on a Sunday, they are trying to strip Oakland of its soul. To gentrify is to take the body and gut it. It is to treat the entire city like a chop house. And those butchers have no manners. They do not pray over the slaughtered. They do not even have the decency to make use of the entire carcass. They simply toss out the bones as if there is no need to season the stock. There is no God in this. My stepfather was a pastor. And before that, he was a football coach. And before that, he was a truck driver who delivered food items. He was a man who took care of those who were not his own. He was a high yellow man, a patient father who sang like he tried to call the cattle home. He thought his voice was better than what it was. And we let him sing anyway. That's right. Because we knew that his voice would go the same way of the house he raised us in. All memory, no longer ours and no longer here. When my mother called me to tell me of his lymphoma, that he has 3 months left to live, I immediately thought of the newly built mixed income housing high-rise just up the street. I thought to myself, the city does not care that the lower income families in that high rise will never be able to afford the $5 cup of coffee or to shop at the Whole Foods. The city does not care that the body will never be whole or that the body has a family. The city does not care about black families, that the only place they have ever called home will be made to feel strange and foreign and out of place, that will become too expensive to even breathe in. At this rate, we will have to lower our dead into grounds they could not afford to live on. At some point, mixed income housing only prolongs the inevitable, and this is the best definition of chemotherapy that I have. Meanwhile, my stepfather died, and no one seemed to ask the important questions like how did we get here, and why did the body eat itself alive, and where did the God go in all of this? I am a broken prayer in a burned down church house. Without him, I never would have made it, which is to say, I am black, and I feel scared, and this is exactly what the cancer does. It pushes the God out of the body, and sometimes the body has neighborhoods for limbs, which is to say, when I played football for him, and we lost our semifinal game, and I made my fist into 2 small wrecking balls waiting for any project to get into. He said, yeah, I know this one hurts. Cry it out if you have to, but you got to keep your head up, Figure out a way to get him next time, he said. He is everything I know about gentrification. Everything I can tell you about what happens when the cancer finally comes.